Good evening and welcome to tonight's live stream. And it's the big, the massive Q&A. How's everybody doing? Can you believe we're doing 2 weeks on the trot, as we say? I've not called in sick. I've not said there's anything wrong with me. I'm here again, week after week, doing this for you guys. Hope everybody is well. Tony, let me know if there's people in, because I can't see anything at all, but hopefully people will start joining us soon. It seemed to happen this last week as well, where people just all of a sudden join. If you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, write something in the chat box so we can. Oh, here we go. Al's the first one. Good to hear from you as well, Al. So yeah, if you are watching, do write in the chat boxes so we can make sure everything is working fine. So what can we say? We're getting ready for the tour this week. We've got the tour. It's the meet and greet on tomorrow evening down in Pescara. So I'm really looking forward to meeting this group. And then we've got the tour for Thursday and Friday. So what can I say other than I can't wait to show them around stunning Abruzzo. So what have we got tonight? What have we got, Tony? We've got stunning photo of the week, and it is a real stunning photo of the week. We've also got Domenico's back. We've got Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting trials. Where's the cheer? There you go. This week it's going to be a little bit harder. I think we need to start moving it up a level because things have just been getting too easy. So things are just going to be a little bit harder this week. I've not told Domenico yet. I've just given Tony the good news that it's going to be a little bit harder. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting trials are a few minutes where we like to have a bit of fun, where Tony will give you a quote from a famous film in his best Italian possible, and then later in the show Domenico will come on and in his best English possible he will say the same phrase, and at that point you guess what the film is. We like to have a bit of fun. That's what we do here. Is that all right? Thank you. What else have we got? Notices we've got. Hello from Wisconsin. What notices I've got? Why can't I find my notices, Tom? Can I just have it? Oh, he's giving me the screen. Look. What should we say? Yeah, the tours. The tours start tomorrow. Can't wait for that. We'll give some updates and some photographs on YouTube and on Facebook. Really looking forward to it. If any of you are interested in joining the end of this month's tour, then the 29th and the 30th, we do have a couple of spaces left. I think we may actually have 4 spaces. I could be wrong, but I think we may have 4. So if you are interested, come along. They're fantastic things. 3 days, well, 1 evening and 2 full days. We get to see around 20 properties in 2 days. 20 properties in 2 days. Who else does that? Nobody. Only us. We get to see, how many areas do we get to see? I don't know how many towns. We get to see quite a few. We get to see maybe 10, 11, 12, something like that. We eat some fantastic food, as usual. We have lunch on the Thursday and the Friday. We have an aperitivo evening on the Wednesday. It's just amazing. So if you want to come along to the end for the end of May, then come along. I think, as I say, we have 2 spaces left, but I will check to see if there's any more. What else was I going to say? We have got, oh yeah, for the tours at the end of the year, so the autumn tours, September the 25th and 26th, October 23rd and 24th, and November the 6th and 7th. September, we're more than half full. October and November, there's plenty of seats on there, but don't hang around. Book it. Book today. That's my new. I'm going to start. I think I might be one of these cheap double glazed Dave's sales. I think that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to start wearing a shirt and tie, and we're going to do it like the old-fashioned salesman for when we get onto these tours. But if you want to join us, they are fantastic. It's a great way to see the area and to see lots of different properties and meet people who are all like-minded that have been on tours, and they just want to have a look around. It's the best way to come and see properties. If you're not sure, if you're not ready yet, you're not ready to jump on these amazing properties that people snap up remotely. If that's not you and you need to be here and touch and feel the place and see what it's all about, then come along on one of the tours. They are absolutely fantastic, if I do say so myself. What else have I got to say, Tone? Patreon. I'm going to be mentioning Patreon a little bit later as well. If you are interested in buying a property and you're there now and ready to go and wanting some early access to some of the video properties plus extra footage and extra house and things like that and a chat room, then join Patreon. It does cost €14 a month, which is a token gesture, I think. That's equally divided, well, not quite equally between us and the taxman. So it's not a huge amount, but it's a club where people that are really serious about jumping on something quickly and are ready to go, then Patreon, if that's you, then Patreon is the way to go, because we are going to be increasing the amount of content that is going to be going onto Patreon. And I'm going to talk about that briefly because I've had a few questions that people have sent me online. If you do have any questions for the Q&A session today, which hopefully you do, if not, I'm just going to sit here and not say anything, which I know some of you might like, then just hold on before you send them, because I'm going to just got another couple of things to say, and then I will give you the go ahead and try and get as many of those questions on screen as possible. But yes, Patreon is definitely the way to go if you're interested in moving really quick. What else have we got? Our friends over at Renting Abruzzo. If you are looking for a property to rent, either short-term or long-term, then contact them. Their email is there, rentingabruzzo@gmail.com. Make sure you spell it right. Look how it's spelled. Look. Are you looking? Are you writing it down? Are you writing? Have you finished? Have you found your pen? Have you found your paper? Put the two together. Write it down. Have you done it? Make sure you spell it right, because some people say, I can't get in touch with these people at this, that, and then they show me the address they've done and it's the wrong address. So write it down. If you're looking for long-term or short-term here in Abruzzo, then contact our friends there. What else have we got? What else have I got to say, Tom? I think that's about it, isn't it? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? So it's now time for Stunning Photo of the Week. So hold on to your questions. Don't bring any questions in yet. Cheer was a little bit late. Tom, you know when I say it's time for Stunning Photo of the Week, then that's when it, do you know what I mean? We're going to try and keep it in time. That's Tony, the producer for you, isn't it? He'll be coming on shortly as well to do his best Italian. Anyway, Stunning Photo of the Week. This was sent in by Darren, and I love this. Well, I think I've written this down. It's either Darren that sent a picture of Bailey or Bailey who sent a picture of Darren. But I'm guessing it's Darren that sent. Look at this for a picture. How stunning is this fella? Just look at that. I'm even going to, let me get rid of the, just look at that. What a fine looking dog he is. So that's either Darren or Bailey. I'm sure it's Bailey. I don't think that's Darren. I'm sure I wrote that down. So thank you so much, Darren, for sending that in. He truly is stunning. And see, this is what these stunning photos of the week's all about. It doesn't have to be of Abruzzo. It can be anything. Show us something in your part of the world. And if you can get the word stunning in, then that's even better. Great picture. And Bailey, if you're watching, cool dog. There you go. That's Stunning Photo of the Week. I can't get him off now. Bailey's just stuck there. He's in my head. How do I, oh, there you go. Okay, My Italian Therapy, Gina Fiore. Just want to say hello and thanks for the email, Dave. I know you're busy loving San Martino sul Marocchino. I'm over the moon with Abruzzo. Found the flea markets and have a groove now to Pescaro. That's great to hear. I do remember. I'm sorry that I think you were in Guardiagrad as well, Gina, which is close to us. Unfortunately, we've got a tour week this week, and we are. If I would have known you were coming before, then I would have done something. But I've seen your email, and we will try and get something organised before you leave. Mark and Ned. This is the famous Mark. These have been Meet the Home Buyers. Mark sends me videos of him close to his swimming pool, close to his swimming pool with the amazing views they've got. I'm just waiting for him to open it. He keeps sending me these invites, but he's not opened his pool yet. Anyway, your stunning photo is our short video I sent you of our fantastic new panorama. And what a stunning video it was, Mark. I really appreciate it. Mark and Nader, fantastic people. We're going to have a catch up with them again soon. Okay. Juana Sarah, Rich will be sharing the chat with me. It's Deborah Hend. Oh, right. Okay. So we've got Rich, the sharing, you're not two separate ones tonight. Completely understand. It's Darren. What's Darren? Is that the dog, Darren? No, it's Bailey's the dog. I know it is. I'm sure it is. Please confirm that. Bailey is the good-looking one. And here he is again. Let's just show him. He is stunning. He really is. Anyway, there you go. Send your stunning photos of the weekend. It can be anything. Let's have a little bit of a laugh with it. Let's have some jokey ones if we can. Love things. It's nice to have a bit of a laugh in these days of strange times and all the rest of it. Okay, so that's stunning photo of the week. And now it's time. Now it's time for Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting. Are you ready, Tone? Are you ready? Here he is. Good evening.
No, I'm not ready at all.
No, you wouldn't be. When you see this one. So anybody that's watching for the first time, this is Tony, the producer. So anything that goes wrong on the show is completely his fault.
That's always
anything that goes right is obviously all to do with me.
I'm being good. I'm on tea.
What's wrong with you?
Well, we've got a busy week this week, so I thought I better,
calm it down.
Yeah.
Are you sure there's tea in that?
Yes, definitely.
Not so sure. Anyway, for those who are watching, Tony is now going to, in his best Italian. I haven't sent it him yet.
You haven't sent me it.
Sorry?
You've not sent me it.
No, because I want to leave it as a surprise. In his best Italian, he's going to do a quote from a famous film, but don't guess it yet. You have to wait for Domenico to come on later in the show. And when he's done it in English, then you can guess. Tony, are you ready? As I said to you before, I'm going to give you a minute to look at it. As I said before,
a minute, yeah, right.
we're trying to move up a notch now because people are getting them, and it's a little bit too easy. So we're moving it up a notch. I might give a clue if Tony does this well, and in particular if Domenico hits two words right on the head, it will give it away. And I might give a little clue later in the show, but we'll see. Are you ready? In your own time.
Oh, go on.
Sit here and watch you, whichever's. Anybody waiting for questions? 2 more minutes, and then you can start putting your questions up. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Go.
Right. Alondra un cavaliere giace che un papa intero del suo lavoro il frutta colera santa incontro ricerca l'obe che sulla sua tomba dovrebbe sta coni di rose e inseminato ventre avrà.
Actually, Tone, that I hate to admit it, I really do, but that was pretty good.
Was it?
That was pretty good. Bye. That's enough of that. Don't like to see Tony getting excited. What do you think, everybody? Is his Italian getting any better? You've got absolutely no idea what that means, but he did actually do pretty well tonight. He did actually. There's maybe one word in the Italian thing or two that may give it away. Domenico's got the important one later, so we'll see. We'll see. Okay, greetings all. Tony wearing Nirvana, great band. Need some laughs, thank you. Nice to hear from you as well, Lorraine. I sent you a message as well, Lorraine, as well. I know I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm really not. Between me and Lorraine came on here. She's at a Meet the Home Buyer, and she's going to be Meet the Home Buyer ×2 because she's buying another property. And this just shows how crazy life can be. Is everything goes so smoothly, whether it's to do with anything with the notary, anything else going so smoothly. But the delivery company have not managed to send a letter from America to here. And that's where we're at the moment. And it's very frustrating. But we'll get there. We'll get there, Lorraine. I'm sure we will get there. Okay. We've got somebody on the tour. Oh, this is Deborah. Hi, Dave. Can't wait to meet you on the tour. Can't wait to meet you as well. Thanks to you and Domenico for helping us find our home in Italy. This and I'm so happy for you guys as well. And this is the mad thing that Deborah and Rich have already found their property, but they're still coming on the tour anyway. And that's because they want to meet us. And why not? Okay, are we all ready for questions? Is that Troy? Oh no, it's Darren. Are you admitting Tony rocks, David? No, definitely not. I said he did well. That's it. And hopefully there's no sign of Troy. Seb's on. I've just seen Seb. I think you're due to come out to Palombar or something to see your new house. I think Silvana was telling me. So there may be a few drinks in the pipeline. Let's see what happens. Fellow Englishman that lives in the US. So we'll see. Even though he's from down south in England, we don't really. Tone is from. Did you know that he's from down south? Should we allow him in?
I'm not from down south, thank you
No,
very much.
you're not. I'm saying Seb that's coming out to see his new house.
Oh, okay.
He's from, I think he's, below Nottingham. So
I'm a Fen man.
I know you are. Anyway, we'll see. We might let him in, see what happens. Okay, it's Q&A time. It's quarter of an hour that I've completely wasted. Q&A time. Tony, I'm ready. I've got some questions here. If you've already got some, then okay, he's straight in with it. Troy, and this is Troy. Have you noticed Troy? He finishes it with Tony Rocks as well. Now he can say this as much as he likes because we actually signed for the house for him. I decided it was against everything inside of me because I wasn't going to sign last week, but I decided to do it for him because they're great people. But anyway, when the team sets up the utilities remotely, does someone check there is no issues at the property? New owner asking. Okay, so you will be pleased to know, Troy, that yes, we do have all the new properties, not some of them from last year, but yours is in the new section. That part of our all-inclusive does include that once everything is set up, because setting up utilities here is like pulling teeth. In fact, I think if I had a choice between the two, luckily my wife has far more patience than what I do. Solana is that she just does it, and it really is a nightmare. And then we usually have to go out to the property as well, meet the water company, meet the gas company, meet all the rest. It's an ongoing thing. And part of the service now as well is once they've all been done, is then we will go to the property with us personally, but at your side, Troy, it will be Domenico that will pop over to the property and make sure that everything is up and running and working. So yes is the answer to your question. And for everybody else watching, when you purchase a property and it's all fees and all taxes, check with us just in case it's a property from last year, but all the new properties that do include the services of changing over utilities, and also a check before you come and somebody there to meet you with the key. There you go. That was a fairly quick answer for me. Tone, have you got another one for me, or shall I go on to the don't forget, folks, it's a Q&A. So the idea is, the Q part, I'll do the A bit, but I really need some Qs before we can do the A's. And look at Tony's face. You concentrating?
Yeah, it's a concentration face.
What are you concentrating on? It's not that difficult, is it? You just put questions on.
Hey,
is
I've
it
got
that
a long
hard?
list to go through here.
You got a long list. Okay. Ooh. He's being all choosy. He's looking for the ones that say Tony Rock. So if you want something answering, no doubt that's what you'll have to put at the bottom. Okay, well, while he's got his serious face on, this is talking about remote purchase as well. I get lots of questions. Marion sent me a question. When it says including all fees and taxes, what does it actually mean? I know we've covered this quite a few times, but just to let you know, the purchase of a property here in Italy, you usually have to consider the notary fees, if there's geometries involved, translation fees, and then whether it's an agent that's helping you, whether it's a solicitor that's involved, whoever it is. In our remote purchases, the agents that we use do not charge you a commission. They charge the commission only to the owners. They don't charge you. That allows, this sounds awful to say, but that allows us to charge you because obviously the services that we give, it's just not, we can't charge a commission because we're not agents, as I've said many times. But what you do is you pay a service for us to look after everything, to make sure that we take care of your purchase over here and follow everything right through to the end. So it includes our fees, all of our fees, includes all the translations, includes the geometry that we get in to check on all the documents and that kind of thing. It includes the price of the notary, so the actual notary fee, and includes all the taxes, that's the government taxes, when it comes to the purchase of your property. Now, sometimes you don't get to know those purchase taxes while the very end. You may find with other people, you won't find while the end. But we put a guarantee on that price. Once that's the price, that's the price. So if for any reason the taxes are higher, it shouldn't be, but that's our fault. But everything's included. The only thing is, put Tony Rocks on again, the only thing that it doesn't include is the document at your side, wherever you are in the world, where you have to go to in front of a notary and sign to give us power of attorney. We supply you with the power of attorney document. We give you all the instruction that needs to, can't get my words out, that needs to be done. sorry, I'm being put off here. Bailey the dog is still on my screen here, and I can't get him off. He's just staring at me. But we we send you all the documents for the power of attorney, and you go to the notary, you sign it in front of the notary wherever you are, and you get the apostle stamp added to it. We give you all the instructions, what needs to be done. That part, the notary where you are and the apostle stamp, is the only thing that's not included. In the US, I hear less than $100, sometimes in a lot less. The most expensive places, Canada's similar. Most countries are around about that. Apart from the UK, us in the UK, we like to charge 5 times more than anybody else. So coming from the UK, if you need to go to a notary and sign and get the apostle stamp, it's going to be a minimum of probably £250, £300, up to maybe £500, something like that. But that's not included. But everything else is, everything at this side is. And then it also includes changing all the utilities over, which may sound like a simple thing. Believe me, it's not. And we have to go and we have to make sure we're there for appointments, usually with each one. If they want to come and change the meters and that kind of thing, it covers that. It also covers somebody going out afterwards, not a worker, but just somebody going out just literally to check that the water comes on, that everything's working. And then obviously somebody here for when we do the key handover. So, and also it includes registering with the local council for your to change your bins over, to your garbage collection, things like that, to put into your name. It includes things like if you want internet, we'll help you do all of that. So it's a full service. Then we pretty much then leave you on we get everything ready for you and leave you on your own from there. But the utilities is an absolute pain. So we always suggest that people don't come out straight away after and think that the house is going to be ready and all the utilities turned on, because they can be a bit of a nightmare. We always say best if you can leave a good 6 weeks. 2 months is even better. It shouldn't take that long, but it does sometimes. But always check with us anyway. But that's what is included. When are yearly house taxes due over there? So Lorraine, they are due in June and December. Now this is another crazy thing over here, that you have to work them out yourself, and it is a ridiculous system. It really is, because really you should just get a bill and that's it. Now you may think it's quite easy to work them out, and so it should be, and they're supposed to be making it easier. I've not seen any signs of this yet. There's supposed to be a new website that's going to make it so much easier. No, I've not seen any of it. And what we have to do is we have to put information in about your house, and then you have to read the minutes of the last meeting that the council had, where they decided what percentage that they've decided to put on the taxes this year. It is ridiculous. There's a website where it can be done, but then you have to scroll through. You have to find the minutes. You have to find where they've spoken about these taxes and what the taxes are for your particular type of house. It really is ridiculous. Now, there are companies that do a service. We do a service. Unfortunately, we have to charge for it because it does take time to do. And we usually charge €50. If you want to, you can leave it while December, do it all in December. They do charge a little bit of interest because you're supposed to do it twice in the year. But it's not a huge amount. It's up to you what you decide to do on that. But it's €50, and we work out your council tax and send you all the details of where you need to pay it. Some other places, I've heard some people say that one person, a client of ours from Ireland, she was charged €400. Sorry, I was talking pounds. At €50, I should have said. She was charged €400 for somebody to do this. It should be nothing like that. I know there's accountants doing it, and it's not their kind of job, so they will charge 100, 150, whatever it may be, but you shouldn't be paying that kind of thing. Or if you've got a very friendly council, you can come and do it when you're over. It's a ridiculous system, but it's something, again, that we're here to help with. Okay, are you? Let's have a look. My Italian Thursday. Back to Gina. What is the best bank for us foreigners to open checking for transfers? Okay, years ago, when Brits were coming out all the time, it was so easy to, because they're all part of Europe, so easy to open a bank account. We could even do it online. We used to do that as part of the service. Then Brexit came and the banks started to tighten up on lots of things. And then they said, no, we can't open anything online. You need to bring the person here, so on and so on and so on. And it just became a little bit of a nightmare. And to be honest with you, with all these new cards that are out at the moment and these new online banks that I am actually going to put some details of it on the website. I will send emails out to people, but there's a certain bank that they're called, it's called Wise, WISE. I don't think there's any reason why I can't do it, mention them to you, but it's a great way. Go onto their website and have a look. It's a great way to hold money in euros if you need it in euros. I'd also use it for your to pay bills and that kind of thing, because they actually give you a European IBAN number. Now, an IBAN number is not used in the States. IBAN's number is not used in, I don't think, in Canada or Australia, places like that. But IBAN, the international banking number, is used here in Italy. So, and used throughout Europe. And what happens is these companies, if they're going to take direct debits out of your bank, they want an IBAN number of where they can take the money to set up all your utilities. And Wise will give you, they'll give you a Belgian IBAN number. There are some that won't accept a Belgian one, which shouldn't happen, because in Europe they're supposed to accept any IBAN number from any country and you can't complain about it. But the vast majority of people will accept the IBAN code that comes from Wise, and we just give them that information. You set your bills up, and I think it's a much better way to do it than open a bank account, because you open a bank account here, it's just complicated. And usually what you find, just to get online, you have to usually have an Italian SIM card to put in your telephone, because you try and get on your online banking and they'll send you a password through, but they'll send it by SMS and they won't accept foreign numbers. And it's just all a pain in the you-know-what. And you usually get charged maybe €15 a month for having a bank account. So between that and then having to have an Italian SIM, it's just too many headaches. You don't need that kind of thing. So there are lots of different options for these different types of banks. And we always recommend those sorts of people, because it's just easier and it's good for you as well. I wouldn't transfer huge sums with anybody that I can't speak to. We've had this conversation before when David Nixon, who, by the way, any of you that now want to deal with David Nixon from Currencies Direct, they can do all states in the US now. So go back onto their website. You should find your state on there. But we've had this conversation with him in the past, and things that I believe as well, that if you're sending a lot of money over when it comes to buying your house, you need to speak to somebody. You need the best advice you can to get the best rates as well. However, the smaller amounts and setting up your bills, companies like Wise are fantastic for that kind of thing. Plus, when you're coming out here, you can transfer some money, say from dollars or pounds or whatever it is, onto your Wise account, do the exchange from whatever your currency is to euro, and then use it while you're here. It's a great system. So that's what I would recommend. That was quite a long answer, that, wasn't it? Yeah, he's agreeing with me. So yeah, talking about exchange rates, I'm going to get a quick question, because somebody did ask me who the exchange company was that usually come on our show. So David's going to come on in June, I think. The next one he's going to come on from Currencies Direct. You'll see them splashed all over our website. For us, we work fantastically well with them, and everything runs so smooth once they've got the money in their account. And you've done your deal with them and the rest of it, and then it's a case of sending to the notary and sending to us, and they do it for all our clients. It's fantastic. But a lot of people will say, but the bank rate that you can get on some of these cards that I mentioned are slightly better than Currencies Direct. So why should I do that? Now, we've always said, when it comes to exchanging funds over, what a lot of people do is they think, okay, I'm going to use this method of doing it, and those that decide to use somebody like David at Currencies, they're the ones that in the end will get the best rate. There's some people, a small percentage, that say, no, I'm going to do it with the card. And I've had 2 cases recently, and it caused a huge problem. And they're going to do it with the card because you get the best rate. Now, what happened was they got that into their mind a few months ago and thought, that's what I'm going to use. Got close to signing dates, and we asked people to send their money over about 2 weeks, 10 to 2 weeks before the signing. So it's sat in the escrow account of the notary. So everything's ready. And then obviously our fees come to us and all the rest of it. Now, these people attempted to do that, and the card they were using wouldn't allow the exchange. And so I said to split it into small amounts and send it maybe 20 at a time or something like that. Every time they tried to send money, it got blocked, and it wanted to be checked. And then they sent them questions saying, do you know if this is a scam? Do you know how scams work? You need to do this. Make sure you answer all these questions. They were doing it, answering all the questions, and then they said, we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you when we can release the funds. You can't speak to anybody. And we were saying, but you know, the client was going crazy because the signing was due to be done. They had a contract stating when the signing should be done, and they couldn't get the money out. And it was ridiculous because then the signing went over the date. Luckily, the owners said, you know, don't worry, it's fine. But the owners actually booked time off. They lived in Milan. They booked in time off to come down here. It was a nightmare. And so that's why, and Tony, I'll come to that. Oh no, somebody's just saying providers online billing. My bills are emailed to me. Yeah, you can do that as well. That's another way that's Pacentro Pete. That's the way he does it, and it's great as well. But getting back to the thing with the exchanges for the cards, the other problem that we had, which turned out to be a massive problem for somebody, is again they said we're going to get the best rate from this. We're not going to Dave from Currencies Direct. Absolutely fine. People are free to do whatever they want. They left it while a couple of weeks ago to exchange their money. It was for a property for 160,000. When they made the deal on the property, and a lot of you will know this now, especially in the US, the dollar has a little bit. So when you start talking tens of thousands or 100,000s, a 1 cent shift is a lot. So obviously, what's happened with the dollar recently, because of I don't know why, but anyway, but what's happened with the dollar recently, this person got into their head, I'm going to get the best deal. What they should have been doing is speaking to a professional about it 3 months ago and setting that stop, setting that thing to say, okay, if it drops below this, can I speak to somebody that's going to advise me? Can I block the rate now and send you the money later? These are all options that these companies like David at Currencies Direct, that's what they do. You know, go onto the website, onto our website, and click on the links. You'll see, have a talk with David and see how it all works. And that's how you make things work. Because yes, if you said today, Dave, send me 10,000 to this, and asked one of the cards to do the same thing, you may get a better rate. But that's not how it should be. These people should have been blocking and doing things months ago, and they would have saved, I can't begin to tell you how much, because the exchange rate has changed so much. What they thought they were going to be paying and what they're actually paying now, two completely different things. And we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands. And that's because people just think, okay, I've sorted that, shove it to one side. That's not how it is. You need to speak to professionals. We're not professionals. We get these cards, we get these accounts. Let's be honest with some of you may, the vast majority haven't got a clue what's going on in the market. Whereas if you use professionals, they do, and you can usually save loads of money as well. Okay, so that's that question done. Tone, have you got any more for me? I wish you could see the little screen that I've got Bailey on this screen that's still looking at me because I can't get him off for some strange reason. And Tony, I don't know, Bailey's far better looking. Happy Hammer. If I'm renting in Italy prior to purchase, how long should I estimate that I should continue to rent before I can move into the purchased property? It's a tough one, that one, because I mean, if you're renting prior to purchase, obviously it depends. It depends if you've found a place that you like, and if you're wondering how long the process should take. To be honest with you, the process, if all the documents in order, the process can be extremely quick. The quickest I've ever done a signing is in a week, and that was because all the documents were in order and everything just got done straight away. It was a couple that went. They said we're going to go off to Sicily for a while, and I said, well, I'll let you know. And then I rang them a few days later and said, you may as well come back because we can do this. We can do this. So it can be done quick, but obviously you don't want to think a week. You should always think up to 3 months. We're at the moment, we're working on signings for July, but that's because we're busy before then. But I would say sort of give yourself a few months, but then you need to find out if the electrics are already on, if the electrics, water and gas and things like that are already on. Are the meters up to date? Are they, you know, because these things, they will be changed. Sometimes it goes quickly, sometimes it doesn't. So if you're starting your search and you've got to go through the search process and then the buying process, then remember things like August, forget it. Nothing's going to happen in August. If it's Christmas time, nothing's going to happen over Christmas. So you have to think about all those kind of things. So a minimum, if you've already found a place, then I would give yourself 3 to 4 months just to rent somewhere. 6 would be even better. Just then you could start doing work on the house before you move in. But certainly 3 or 4 months. Okay. Have we got any more, Tom? He's very slow tonight, isn't he? Here he goes. My tiny thing, Gina again. Yes, Dave, you're expanding to Puglia too, aren't you? Yeah. What's going to happen is we've made some more decisions, and I think the great thing is most of you guys that watch these shows have been following us for a long time now, and been following us since COVID times and all the rest of it, and seen how we've developed and how business has changed. And I posted something on our Patreon group the other day because it really is crazy what is happening at the moment. The appetite for remote purchasing is incredible, and because we've got the system nailed down, and because people look at it, trust in us and trust in our videos and everything we do, we put a lot of effort into making sure we find the right places for people. I don't know where I'm going with this, by the way. But we do all of these things, and we've decided, we put on Patreon the other day that we need to expand out of the area a little bit. And I've been saying this for quite a long time, and I've had people, we're in advanced talks with an agent in Puglia, but that's going to be for completely different types of properties, because a lot of people have asked for sort of some luxury stuff and some detached things, and Puglia is a really popular area. Don't get me wrong, I love Abruzzo, and any expansion that we do is not going to be taken away from Abruzzo, because Abruzzo is our core business, and that will remain there. The Saturday videos will always be Abruzzo. Anything that we bring in from other areas will be done on a different day as far as the channel's concerned. But we recognize that Puglia is a great area. We've got some good friends down there. Our accountant, who English-speaking accountant, who's fantastic, deals with lots of our clients, comes from Martina Franca, and so we go to see him when we can. And there's certain areas of Puglia that we've been looking at to try and find our areas like we've done in Abruzzo, because that's the important thing for me. I don't want to just throw the whole thing out to Italy and say, let's do it. It's so important, the area number one, and then finding the right people. And our accountant, Gianluigi, has found us an agent that we really want to work with. I also want to try and find somebody that also does the cheaper properties, because I understand that there's a real appetite as well for properties up to 100K, for instance. I don't want to suddenly make the channel and make us look like we're just going into the luxury market, because we're not going to do that. I said our core business is here in Abruzzo, and for all the reasons that we've set up this, and for all our passions for this area, that's why we do Abruzzo the way we do it. And I want to feel that way about other places, and I can't do that in sort of, let's say, Sicily or right up in the north, because I can't get there. I need to know that when we do these videos, and this is our number one thing, when we do these videos and we present properties to you, we've checked them. I've checked them personally, because it's my mouth behind it all, and me and my wife work together, and Silvana does so much in the business. This is my part, and I have to be 100% sure of what I'm giving to you or what I'm presenting to you. And this is a huge thing for us. So somebody's saying there, which I'm glad they have, that Abruzzo is no comparison to Puglia. That's exactly right. It's a completely different type of real estate. But I do still want to have the niche that we've got here in Abruzzo. I want to have in these other areas. So it's going to take me time, because I already have a passion for certain areas of Puglia, and that's now where we're concentrating on the agent talks are going ahead and will continue to go ahead on how we're going to do it, because I can't do the hands-on thing like I can here, but I always want to be part of it. Always want to be part. I need to know that these people speak perfect English, or as near as, that they know how we work, and I want to be able to have access to everything, all the stages, if you decide to buy in this place. So Puglia is going to be one of them. I say it's going to take time because I want to get down there. I want to get the feel for the places and make sure, again, when I put a property on, it's not just some town in South Italy, that I know exactly what's there. I'm also doing the same in Le Marche. I'm actually conscious about, Le Marche is quite close to us here. I do want to try and stick to the 7% areas, and there are some 7% areas in Le Marche, because I do want to keep that thing for 7%ers, because I know how important it is for people. And again, in Le Marche, there's going to be some luxury stuff, and they're going to be more detached type things, because I know that there is an appetite for that. In Abruzzo, the market's still young, so the detached houses that we've had, by the way, we've got an amazing one on Saturday, so a detached villa that's incredible outside of Casoli, 10-15 minutes from us, so keep an eye out for that on Saturday. But there is an appetite for that, but you don't get many of them in Abruzzo because it's such a young market that people have bought them, they've done them up, and they're still using them. So there's only the odd one that's come out that's been snapped up straight away. Le Marche has had that longer exposure, if you like, to the foreign market, and so I'm going to be doing that as well. But again, I'm choosing certain areas. We're going to be doing a lot of on the ground, walking around towns, looking at areas, just like we did here in Abruzzo when we set up the home in Italy. That's what we did. I put the kilometers on the car, and we just went everywhere and said, where would we be happy? Where am I happy to say this place is brilliant? I'm not saying that everywhere else in Abruzzo or anywhere else is bad, because not at all. But I'm just confident in the things that I see and I like, and I pass that on to you. And I want to do exactly the same. I don't all of a sudden want people to think, oh, look, you know, his channel's got all blown up to whatever, and now they're doing this, and now the personal thing's gone out of it. We don't want that. We want the same kind of thing in Puglia and the same kind of thing in the market. And once we find that, we may then look at some areas in Lazio, but there's no 7% areas there. But we may look at Lazio, and we may also look at Umbria. But for now, the two that we're looking at really closely and trying to get this thing done is Marche and Puglia. But patience, because it has to be right. Otherwise, we won't do it. We'll just stay here. Sorry, Tone, did you put another one? No? Oh, thanks. Okay. Isn't Abruzzo in an earthquake zone? I have this quite a lot. The whole of Italy is an earthquake zone, apart from Sardinia. That's it. So anything, when you look at Sicily and you look at Calabria and you come all the way up and you look in the middle of Italy and look at it on a map, you can see the mountains in the middle. So you've got Sicily, Calabria, then you come up into the middle, and it doesn't discount any of the other areas, because even Puglia, even though a big part of it is non-seismic, but there is still mountains in Puglia as you get further north. Then you go through Molise, then you go through Abruzzo and you got Molise, Campania, then you've got Abruzzo, Lazio, and then you're going up and you've got Marche, Umbria, and Tuscany, and then you go up again and you see it, and then it bends over to the left, heading towards France. They're all earthquake areas. So some people sort of pull out Abruzzo is not, that's not the way you should look at it. The whole of Italy is like that. We're talking about rare events, and luckily that earthquakes here are quite localized. They don't spread along long distances. And we've been here all of these years and coming here for all of these years. Yes, I felt three. Felt one in Abruzzo. I felt one while I was in Abruzzo from Umbria, and one while I was in Abruzzo in Lazio. And, you know, if you're very unfortunate to be right in the epicenter, I'm not trying to downplay it to say it's nothing, because that's not true. But, you know, when I walk out of my door and I see castles and see churches that are perched on the mountainside and have been like that for hundreds and hundreds, and some of them 1,000 years, I tend not to think about it too much at the moment. If it's something that really bothers you, don't think, oh, I won't look in Abruzzo, I'll look in Lazio. I won't look in Abruzzo, I'll look in Tuscany, or I'll look in Umbria, I'll look in Le Marche, I'll look in, because that's the wrong way to do it, because it's all the same. You can clearly see wherever there's mountains, they've got there from earthquakes. It's as simple as that. So yeah, I would certainly not. Abruzzo is just as much as anywhere else is here in Italy. So that's my answer to it. And I said, even though you look at these maps and they say in seismic areas from all countries there are hundreds of tremors a day, you know, you don't feel them, and that's the truth. You know, if that is the case, if that's happening and there's hundreds a day, then I've been here for however many years I've been here now, and I felt 3. So yeah, it's something that if you're concerned about, it's certainly not just Abruzzo, and it's something that you have to decide whether, you know, for me, you've more chance of having any sort of accident. And when I look at some of the terrible things that happen in other countries, whether it's tornadoes, whether it's floods or things like that, there's no comparison. You know, luckily we don't have that kind of thing, and very rare occasions something may happen. Any more town tours planned? This has come from Dino. Again, we're having a conversation about this because I really, when we're away and when we, for instance, in August time, when the office is closed, I do want to have videos stacked up and ready to go out. And it's Tony's gonna have a smile on his face because I say to him all the time, I'm gonna have to go out and do some. Look, I told you to have a laugh, didn't I? There he is. Yeah, take the mess. I always say that, you know, I need to go out and do some town visits, and I've got to be completely honest with you about this as well. I really want to do it because it's actually better for me as well during holiday times that I can have some of these that may replace the property videos, so I haven't got to come back into work and answer emails and all the rest of it. So it is on my radar to do it. We're such a small team. I'm trying to get, you know, it's me that does the videos, and obviously it's important to get as many property videos as we can. Our daughter already comes on board as well to work within the business. Our son is also coming into the business as well, even though he's stepping into university first, but he's going to do the business as well. So we don't want it to be at the point where we're bringing people in that we're having to farm things out to do. We want to do it. We all have the same passion. It's just me that's got the mouth, and my daughter as well, that will come and sit and do this. But it just needs time. Again, it's one of those things that if like the last few weeks, the weather's been strange. If I have a day or 2 days, I have to go and put properties before the areas. But it is something that I really seriously want to do, and I need to get the format right in my brain so I know that when I leave the house, I'm going to do this, because I'm no filmmaker, as you've probably seen. You know, when I do the home videos now, it's simple because I've done it so often. But putting together something that's good, that's showing a town, is a little bit above what I know, but it is something that I'm definitely going to be doing. So yeah, as well as going to Puglia and La Marche and everything else, it is going to happen, and it will happen. Pete, how about visiting towns during festas? It would be. Are you thinking of that for video? I mean, it's strange, you know, when the festa period starts, because here it starts from probably any time now. Some places June, July, August, obviously the main season. Then some places in Lanciano it goes into September. Then just as you think, you know, I can't festa anymore, it then goes into October. When we first moved here, we used to festa constantly. As soon as the summer came, that was it. It was on every festa and going out there. It actually becomes quite tiring, and you sort of get festered out. But some of the top important festas, I would like to start covering some of those as well, Pete. It's something that it's such a huge thing for the area. I push the simpleness of the area, and that's what I love about the area. But it would be good to push some of the madness of that as well. Trenton, do you handle non-traditional housing? I was looking for an old auto shop or place with a barn that has access for larger vehicles, because I want to bring antique autos, 68 Fury, 81 Dodge, Van Harley, very nice. Yeah, not so much the shops, but finding places with barns. Then yeah, that's something that can be done. And the garages here, usually if you get a garage on land, on a piece of land, they do tend to build big garages. We had a great place that nobody snapped up, which I was probably because it looked slightly ugly from the outside, but there was a video that I put on 3 weeks ago in a place called Atessa, a town called Atessa, brilliant place. And that had a huge garage, but it was in the middle of a town. So it may be worth going and have a look at that video, because it was a fantastic property. It's just one of those properties that maybe doesn't video very well, but what a great property and what a superb location as well. So have a look. I think it was just over 100,000 euros. But had this enormous garage in the place as well. Somebody just asked me as well. Well, they emailed me. I will just I'll come back to that one as well, Don. I'll make a note of Don's question. Somebody emailed me to say about, you know, we only have the properties that we have. Can we help? I think some of you remember that we do what they call the Lean on Me service, where people that feel comfortable with us, we can also help if you're buying with other agents or if you're buying privately. We've got Enrica on board, who came on a webinar about a month ago. I'm going to bring her on again probably next week or within the next couple of weeks to remind you, because we've been working on a couple of Lean on Me projects. That's for people that are looking with other agents, or they've seen other videos on certain channels, but those people can't do anything to help anybody to buy the properties. We're in the middle of some of those at the moment, so it is something that we can help with. If you have the faith in us and you think, look, I want to deal with you, then get in touch and we will look at everything, look at the situation where you are, and we'll price the whole thing with us involved. We'll contact the agents on your behalf. That is something that we're in the middle of doing now, and Enrica is a big part of that. So that's going to be something going forward that will be a big part of the business, and that's why we don't have loads of listings of houses, because I keep saying it, we're not agents. We don't have 200 listings and then sit in offices waiting for people to come in and then take you out to see property. That's not what we do. And now you'll see the listings on our website. The properties go straight to the available properties playlist on YouTube, because that's us. That's what we're all about now. We're all about finding you the right property, putting people in the best properties. In fact, I'm going to write that down, putting people, because that's us. That's what we do. And it's changed so much over the recent years, and that's why Patreon is such a big thing, because we will lay out these things for you and say, look, these are great places, you need to see them. We're not going to have a listing of 200 and people pop by and we take you out and we do it. That's not what we do. We do the tours, and Patreon's a huge thing, and the video channels are a huge thing. But then if you think, but we really want to use your services and we found one that's a private sale, can you help us? That's where the Lean on Me service comes in. So we are complete on that. But the core business, the core thing is not listings and listings and listings like an estate agent, because that's not what we are. We deal with estate agents, but even then we will go through their stock and we will say, no, this not of interest, not of interest, not of interest, for whatever reason. And we have a tough criteria. Then we lay it out to you. And that's why Patreon is such a strong thing as well. Sorry, Tony, did you put on, I'll answer Don in a second as well. Did you put something else on? Any thoughts about a service that provides language and culture training to new arrivals, or working with third parties that do so? It would be nice, Lorraine. I would be, you know, the problem is there's so many opportunities over here for people to do things. There's so many opportunities, and it drives me insane that Italy still has a mentality of put your kids through university, and it doesn't matter what happens, just put them through university and put them through. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. What I did like in the UK, probably one of the very few things that I liked about the UK more than here, is when they started pushing things, the self-employed, becoming self-employed. It's probably different now, but when I first became self-employed in the UK, you could pretty much, you know, do what you think. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this. Dead easy to set up. Dead easy to find your way around. You could do your own tax returns, all the rest of it, and it gave people an opportunity to think just a little bit outside the box. And it's such a shame that people don't do that. It will come, because what's happening is there's the influx of foreigners and people from the north that's maybe coming down, that they've seen the changes up there and coming down. And all of a sudden, you're seeing places pop up that have bike rentals, that have, taking people for walks into the mountains, taking people on tours around the area and things like that. It's starting to happen. And Lorraine, I do wish there was more people that would do that kind of thing, where we would happily give them a push as much as we can and say, look, you can go here, you can learn the language, you can meet people, you can do this, you can get to know this, that, and the other. And I would love to find people like that. Unfortunately, there's not many of them yet. But when I on my way to Piedimonte the other day, I noticed that there was some people had set up some sort of yurts, and I think it's local people. You know, the posh glamping thing. I love to see stuff like that, and I think, you know, I'm going to go and see them. I want to do a video. I want to help them, not because I want something out of it, but I just think it's fantastic. It's fantastic for all of us that have got properties, that's got investments, and that invest in the area and have business in the area. Anything like that, I really do want to give a push. So Lorraine, yes, I am going to look at stuff like that, and that leads me on to nice time in Tone. You knew where I was going with this, didn't you? That leads me on to Don's thing here, which talking about the home buyers Facebook group, which is going to be open. I'm going to do it by the end of next week. I will have contacted everybody, Don. The idea of this, and unfortunately, I feel like it's pushing people out, but it's not meant to be like that. I want to have different groups to do different things. This is going to be about for people that have bought a property through us, that want to feel that they're still part of a community. So I'm opening up a Facebook group for people that have bought through us, and they will be able to integrate with each other, hopefully make friends with each other in the area, and also pass on information. So if somebody's found a good place where they can, I don't know, have aperitivos hanging off the edge of a mountain, somebody will put the information on there, and obviously it'll be used by the people that's here. And I'm not trying to push anybody out and say, no, you can't come in because you've not bought a house, but this is a certain group for a certain type of person that's here and settled here, and they need that little bit of extra things. I think what the kind of thing that Lorraine said, there's just so much. There's so much that you can do, and I think it's all about streamlining it and trying to get people the information that they need without going into things that they don't need, which is why I mentioned Patreon a lot. If you're ready to go and you're going to buy within the next few months, even the next 6 months, Patreon's fantastic. And because you're going to get early access, you're going to get all these things. If you're not ready yet for another year, there's no point spending 14 euros on Patreon. Then I would say to you, come on the tours. And then I would say, if people say, well, I'm only interested in looking around the area. Okay, well, go to this Facebook group because we created this that has this, this, and this. People that have bought that say, where can I get this from? Where can I get that from? Okay, we'll go on to this Facebook group and that's what we're all about. That's what we're trying to do at the moment, to try and to streamline these things and bring Abruzzo in particular at the moment closer to everybody. So yes, in all of that, the answer to the question is I can't remember the question, but hopefully I've answered everything anyway. I was just about to ask another question. That's it then, Tone. That's questions. Have you got? Is there any more questions you want to put on? Oh no, he's saying there are questions, but okay. So he's saying I can move on. So that's it. So we'll do another These Q&A sessions. I do enjoy doing them. I think they're important to do at least once every 5 or 6 weeks. I know everybody loves the home buyer stuff, and I do as well. I love speaking to other people. I just want to. I think it's important to have these Q&A sessions. So if you do think of anything, you know, send me an email as well. You know, I'm not necessarily going to answer you directly, but if you say, look, this is one for Q&A, I will keep hold of all of those, because people haven't done this for a while, but before I used to get lots of questions and I would have a list ready as well. So if all of a sudden something comes on your mind, send me an email, say next Q&A session, can you tell us about this? And I'd love to be able to give you as much information as possible. That's what it's all about. But you heard the air horn, and you know what that means. That means Domenico is in town, and it's time for Domenico and Tony's tongue twister. It's everybody's favorite part of the evening. It's that, look, Tony nearly got the timing. Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting trials. For those of you who have just joined in, this is that special moment where we drift into a bit of stupidness, and Tony comes on and he will say his quote again in Italian, in his best Italian, quote from a famous film. Then Domenico is going to say his quote, this obviously the same quote, but in English, in his best English, and then, and only then, you can guess the film. So let's bring them on. Let's bring first, here he is. What are you looking at that for? Have you paused? Oh, you had frozen, haven't you?
Eh?
You froze then. I don't know if anybody else saw it. You just look like you've gone into screensaver mode.
I seem a bit dark. Okay.
Oh, well, there you go. Interesting story, anyway.
I'm in the Twilight Zone again.
That's about right. And here he is, folks. He's back. It's Domenico, buonasera.
Ehi,
Ciao.
com'è? Buonasera.
Ciao Tony,
Come
good
stai?
evening.
Tutto bene?
Good,
Ah.
thanks.
Ok, sei pronto?
Yes.
Oggi è un po' difficile. I'm just explaining today is a little bit. No, perché dobbiamo cominciare a alzare un po' il livello, se no che facciamo? Dobbiamo
Thank you.
Ok, so I'm going to let me send Domenico's. Ti do un minuto per studiare. Let me just send him his. Ok. Allora,
Arrivato.
Tony prima.
Ah.
Tony.
Prima.
Tony, are you ready? So listen, everybody. Listen to see if we can get no guessing until Domenico has done it. I'll keep an eye on the chats, Tone, and see who's doing it. Here we go. First, Tony, let's go.
Ok. A Londra un cavaliere dice che un papa intero del suo lavoro il frutta colari santa incontro ricerca l'oba che sulla sua tomba dovrebbe sta cani di rosa e inseminato ventri avrà.
Hai capito, Domenico?
Le parole di Tony, benissimo. Il film, no.
He says that he understood Tony perfectly well, but doesn't know the film. The two don't go. You can't say that. Okay, Domenico, in inglese. Listen, everybody. Let's see who's going to be first. In inglese. Okay, vai.
In London lies a knight a pope interred. His labor through it a holy right incurred. You seek to orb that ought to be on his tomb in speaks of rosy flesh and sated womb. Womb.
No, hai fatto bene. Solo che, sì.
Sì.
Somebody's got it. I can't believe it.
Where?
Dave Stevens.
Who? Oh, yeah, Da Vinci Code.
Dave Stevens, Da Vinci Code. I can't. Dave, how on earth did you get that from that? How is that possible?
Hey, because we're very good, David. That's what it is.
Is that what it is? But what I loved was because I thought the bit that was going to give it away, because obviously I thought we'd use Da Vinci Code because of all the Pope thing that's going off, at the moment. But I thought if Domenico gets these words perfect, and it was the bit at the end that says it speaks of rosy flesh and seeded womb. And I thought if he gets that, some people might know. But it was just when he said sedded womb, I thought I'm definitely going to win this time. Definitely going to win. But I didn't. Anybody else got it? Nobody else has got it. People are just copying Dave now.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Richie, got it.
Bravo, Domenico. Che posso dire? Bravo. Tone, you did all right. Tone, your first one was better than your second one, but you did all right as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Non posso credere. Va bene così. Did other people get it as well? I can't see.
Only Bridget.
Who was the first one on? On YouTube?
There isn't.
Bridget. Well done. Unbelievable. There's something strange going off here. People do things. I still reckon people do it with Google Translate or something. So it's going to be extremely hard next week. Domenico, grazie.
Thank you.
Sei pronto per il tour questa settimana? I'm just asking if he's ready for the tour this week.
Carissimo.
Dillo un'altra volta. Tantissimo. A lot.
Carissimo. Sono carico.
Io non ti sento. Non so se c'è un problema con il microfono. Va bene, non fa niente. Ok.
Bye bye.
Ci sentiamo domani.
Giovedì.
Ciao Tony.
Ciao Dome.
Ciao. A dopo. There he was. It's Domenico, fresh from Vittorito. Tone, well done. What can I say? Somebody else put Jack the Ripper. No clue. Oh, that was Lorraine. The Conclave. You were close, Ron, actually. Yeah. Why does this feel like a Monty Python sketch to me? That's David. We should have some sort of. I think we've got enough characters now. Yeah, we've got a few characters coming. You know, we can get Pacentro Peter. We need a few more lady characters. We've got Lama Laurie. She'll be coming on soon, and we've got who else have we got? We've got a few lady characters that we can bring in. Then we can have some sort of Monty Python sketch. Definitely do something from the Holy Grail. Anyway, thank you. Cheers, mate. We'll speak to you soon.
What have the Romans ever done for us?
Exactly. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate your support as usual. It's always great to do these Tuesday nights, and I do try and stick with them as much as possible. I was guessing from the Pope reference. Well done, Ron. Yeah, that's. I was going to give a little bit of a hint tonight, but I can't believe people got it. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us every week the way you do. Thank you for all your support on Patreon. Thank you for all the support on YouTube. We really appreciate it. Everything that we can do to try and get people into some of these amazing places, we will do. As I always say, it's our business. It's what we do. We earn a living from it. And nobody's going to say that we don't. But the passion for it is huge. And believe me, when you come here, you'll see why. You'll see why we're so passionate about what we do. So with that, looking forward to meeting everybody on the tour this week. I'll give people a few photographs and post them on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Can't wait to meet everybody. If you're watching it, we'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow evening. For those of you who are joining the end of May tour, remember there are a couple of seats left on there, I think, so just get in contact with us if you want to join that. But for those of you on the end of May tour, we will be contacting everybody on Monday, starting the contact, and then we'll set up the WhatsApp group and all things like that as well. So don't worry, we haven't forgot you. We'll be in touch on Monday after this tour. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you again next Tuesday. No idea what we're going to be talking about next Tuesday, but for sure, it's going to be stunning. See you soon, everybody.